10th year running, the 2011 event at Rebecca Farm began in true world-class fashion, with the international divisions shining up bright and early for their first horse inspection. Later in the day, competitors took a tour around Captain Mark Phillips' cross-country course. We caught up with international competitor Joe Meyer to tour the CIC 3-star track. Later on, David O'Connor conducted a mini steeplechase clinic for riders competing in the training 3-day division. Coverage of the 2011 event at Rebecca Farm is brought to you in part by...
Hi, I'm Sharon White. For me, eventing is all about confidence, and when I have my .2 on, I feel like I could be thrown out of an airplane and be okay.
This is the first year the event is hosting a training 3-day division, part of the Smart Pack Equine USEA Classic Series. 29 horses and riders are entered in this long format division, all of whom passed the first inspection. Later in the afternoon, all riders had an opportunity to school some steeplechase fences with some advice from David O'Connor.
There's 5 rider responsibilities that we talk about all the time: direction, speed, rhythm, and balance, right? And then the last one is a sense of timing, and that is about supporting the horse and recognizing, not looking for, but recognizing a distance. Right? And so you recognize the distance, so like when it feels going to be short, you're helping out. When you feel like you need to move, that you're doing that. Right? But you're not looking, no, there it is. Okay? Yeah. Right? Same thing out on cross country. Right? The sense of rhythm, right? Direction, speed, rhythm, and balance. Okay? Then a sense of timing. And then if you miss that, and your other 4 things are good, your horse will handle it. The big thing is when you go steeplechase, right? It's not that fast, right? 520 is not at the upper end of a lot of horses' gallops, right? So you'll get into a rhythm. The big thing about steeplechase is where that person is right down there around the corner, about 8 strides away, if you have to change your position, right? So you should be galloping like this, right? And then when you're in that area, if you come down here and then you lift your shoulders up, slide your butt a little bit back to the saddle, but don't sit down, okay? And if you change your position from that to that, there, and then you sit quiet, right? And then you'll find out what the horse is reacting to the fence, which as he goes on will be less and less. He might jump the first one, he might jump up a little bit, and then the next ones they'll come on, right? And so you stay quiet, and then you just help support whatever the horse is going to do, right? If you need to move up to it. If you need to stay there, stay there. If it's a little short, you should be in a place where you're just helping him shorten, okay? But it's really important that there's a sense of rhythm about it, so that when you come around here and you pass that point, which is that preparation zone about 8 strides away, you go from here to here, but that's only a rebalancing move. It's not, don't slow down, okay? Unless if obviously they're running off. Stay there, stay there. Perfect, perfect. Right? There's very much a difference between galloping position and your balance position. That's what we want to see. One thing you ought to think about, especially with long reins that you have on cross country and steeplechase and all that kind of stuff, you try not to end your reins.
Okay, to shorten them up.
Absolutely. Overall, probably those aren't the reins to go cross country in, yeah. Right? Because if you're even out here, you're going to be on him for an hour, kind of, or at least 45 minutes, right? So if he gets sweaty, those things will get sweaty, and then you won't be able to hold on to him. Okay. So you really should think about slipping over to some rubber reins, okay. Right?
I thought it went really well. I was very happy. It was fun. He's really going to like it.
Of course, the highlight of the event at Rebecca Farm has always been the CIC 3-star division, which is hosting 24 competitors, many of whom made the pilgrimage from the East Coast. New Zealander Joe Meyer, who has relocated to Ocala, Florida, is riding his experienced 4-star mount Snip in the CIC 3-star division. We caught up with him and fellow 3-star competitor Katie Ruppel to tour the beautiful and challenging track designed by Captain Mark Phillips.
Sick and Water Complex. We'll
take a little bit of riding, just because there's so much in it to do. You know, it's a couple of fishes and a bit of up and down and things, and there's a lot of factors that might go a little bit wrong, and then this bounce out over skinny. So, you know, so you got to ride that really, really well. I wouldn't worry about counting strides.
Okay.
Just get off the fish, make sure you get them up and balanced and through this hole. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And if you see one that's moving up there a little bit, that's fine, but just don't start, I've got to get there in this distance. Make sure you've got rhythm and balance.
Okay.
Go down into that water and have them forward, all right? So that they're coming up and the bounce is forward and he's going. Because you don't want to be in a position where you're struggling. So you're through the water and you're up behind, and as he gets up, going forward, and then, yeah, keep them going. I mean, they're good enough horses to know that they've got to do this, but you don't want to make it hard by crawling up this. You've got to actually get yourself across so that you can land. You don't want to be trying to straighten up in this bit here.
Right.
That's 4 strides, it's not 2, you know, so it's not so bad. The 2 corners over here to the skinny has to be ridden very, very well. The time, I haven't measured it, but I'd imagine it's going to be pretty quick, because it definitely got a little bit busy towards the end. But overall, it's very, very nice. Yeah, really, really nice. Make sure you've got them right between your leg and your hand, and you've got them really, really straight. They take off over the corner. Keep your eye on this. Yeah? Land, sit up, and press them from your leg, from your spur, so that you don't land and go, yeah? Because then you lose controls. Right? So you've got to like sit up and move them up to it. You can never get too deep to a triple brush. Yeah? So you want to make sure you get there. The important thing is to make sure you get it one straight stride. Yeah. So that, because you don't want to be coming around and then catch your knee on that, because they kind of don't really know where they're going. You know, so land and then just ride round, sit up, and so it's clear to them that they can see where to go. As you come up the rise, just get them a little bit together, collected canter, yeah? Not like too fast. This is pretty nice, yeah? And keep, as you jump this, keep your head, keep your eye on this, yeah? Keep your shoulders up. Yeah, it's 2 strides and just land and...
It definitely has some classy fences, and everything about this venue is top notch. The course is open and galloping and flowing, but I think you can't forget, you really need to pay attention to the details.
International dressage begins bright and early on Friday. The CIC 3-star will begin at 1:30 in the afternoon and wrap up the first day of competition at the event at Rebecca Farm.